All right, welcome everybody. Today we have a special treat. I am joined by Laura Valdes. She's the founder and CEO of Valdes Language Services. She has a woman-owned business, and they're dedicated to bridging the language gaps and empowering San Diego's diverse communities. And also it works all over the world. So she has over 15 years experience as a professional interpreter, translator, and language services coordinator across the US. Internationally, she has a really broad depth of experience. I think you're going to really love getting to know her. And she has an interesting story on why and how she got into this business. And we're going to talk about this because if you think about this, the world is changing very quickly and borders are sort of erasing. AI is coming in and making everything sort of a level playing field. So, how do you stand out? And this is one of the reasons I wanted to bring Laura on today because she has a unique way for you as a business owner to really expand your brand, your reach, your audience, and of course, make more money, which is what we love to talk about here. So, Laura, welcome to Iconic TV.
Thank you so much for having me, Connie. Very grateful for this opportunity.
I am so glad you're here. Laura, I want to start with you. Like, what was it for you? You had some personal experiences that really shaped your journey as an entrepreneur and also as a linguist. Tell me about that, how that came about, because I think our audience would love this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was raised in New York City, which is one of the most linguistically diverse places in the States, in the world. And I grew up in a Colombian household and a Pakistani household. My stepdad is Pakistani. So I grew up hearing different languages at home. Unfortunately, I didn't learn Urdu or Punjabi. However, I became my family's interpreter and translator at a young age because I was interpreting for my grandparents who did not speak English and my stepdad who didn't speak Spanish. I also had a deep love for languages. So I studied Latin, Portuguese, and German in high school and college, and I studied abroad. And I always knew that was language is an important tool to bridge worlds and connect worlds. So I took my 15 years of experience as a translator interpreter professionally, and after working at my last 9 to 5 job in 2022, I opened Valdes Language Services as an LLC. And the demand was so big that we went from just offering Spanish in 2022, 2023 to offering over 20 languages, including Arabic, Spanish, Vietnamese, Chinese, American Sign Language, Tagalog, Korean, Portuguese, you name it. So it was really a passion that grew from my love of languages and my love of helping clients solve their language problems by bringing in translation and interpretation solutions for them.
Amazing. I can't even think of 20 languages. I can speak five, and I thought, that's all I can handle, but 20, that's amazing. And I can see how that just really connects people to all parts of the world. So, how about for you? Was there, you have this great background, but was there like a specific moment, a catalyst that made you decide, hey, this is what I need to do?
Yes, absolutely. So I saw how language is an important tool to access opportunities, belonging, resources, and growing up in New York, you see so many languages are spoken, and you see the doors that language access opens. So it was clear for me that this was the path. I was working, have interpreted nationally, internationally, and I see the power of language, of being able to unite cultures and communities to resources that they need, and helping businesses grow and expand by helping them to translate materials, helping organizations, clients, and communities feel included by including language access. So, for example, just last week or 2 weeks ago, we provided American Sign Language interpretation services at an annual meeting, and the attendee who needed the service felt very happy and included because we we were able to help them understand what was going on in the programming, and it was a great experience for them.
That's really interesting. I think there's a lot of companies that forget about that and miss opportunities just, making, that service available, even if it's for one person, right? And imagine how that person will go on and share, "Hey, this company did this." We see it in different meetings, or you see it on TV. But when you think about, wow, what if there's one person in my audience who could really get something extra? That's very rewarding, I would imagine.
Absolutely. We also create multilingual interpreting spaces where if if you have some speakers that speak Spanish and some that speak English, we can make it so that everyone can communicate in the language that they feel most fluent and comfortable with. So we have great community building and team building opportunities through our language services.
How do you find the people that you work with? I mean, do you work with individuals? Do you work with nonprofits? Do you work with big companies? Tell me about the kind of people you work with and how do they use your services, and some different examples.
Absolutely, yes. So we work, one of our biggest clients here in San Diego is tourism. So we help event planners and coordinators bridge language gaps by providing interpretation services for their events. So that's for Spanish, that's for American Sign Language, that's for Chinese. And we also help universities translate materials for their staff that doesn't speak English fluently. We work with nonprofits as well to help build multilingual spaces and provide interpretations for their conferences and translate materials into different languages. We work with local government agencies to help them share the programs and the opportunities and the resources that are available to local community members so that they're aware of what's available for them. We work with different groups, with marketing firms, so that they get their messages across, whether that's digital, print. We work with different organizations that their main message is to get a message across in a culturally relevant and efficient way, with real human linguists that can capture the nuances and context that is intended for the audience.
You said the key word, real. And you can't go anywhere these days without a conversation reverting back to some impact that AI has on businesses. Our business clients and consultants that we work with see that impact. And what about for your business? I mean, everybody thinks AI does everything or it'll put them out of a job. I don't know if that's a worry for your business, but how do you look at the role of AI when it comes to translation and interpretation services?
So, Connie, this is a question we get almost every single day, and it's a very valid question. And our answer is that what sets us apart from AI is that humans capture the context, culture, and nuances that AI can't. So it's localized. For example, the way you express idea here in Spanish is very different than the Spanish you would use in Spain or in Dominican Republic or in Argentina, Venezuela, etc. So we used localized linguists who understand not just the words, but the context. So humans are able to capture the idea in a more natural way, versus AI is just a literal translation of something.
I love that. I still love clinging to, the human aspect of things in there. And I'm sure people might use it for some things, but just like with regular AI, you don't just take what it gives you and repurpose it. You need human oversight. And I think in this arena, I didn't even think of the different countries and places that all speak Spanish, but it's all a little different. When I grew up in Germany, right, we had Hochdeutsch, right, which is like high German and low, and just little nuances like that make a difference. And it can really be a black eye on a business if they don't translate it properly. And we've seen it in marketing. Do you think that is something that the business owner even understands, or is that one of the roles that you have?
Yeah, absolutely. So we come in and we help business owners and organizations get their message across in the way that isn't originally intended, localized. So we get help them by, say, if they want to establish credibility, they write books. So we'll help them translate books into different languages so that they can reach a broader audience, and they're able to have more connection with their client base or their ideal client base. So we come in with the human touch, and we'll translate their materials or interpret for their events so that they can connect with more multilingual audiences.
All of our consultants have one or two books under their belt, so I can see how that would really help them expand. Now, I want to ask you a very basic question, because when I first met you and we started working together, it's one of the first things I needed to understand is, what is the difference between translation and interpretation? How do, I always thought it was kind of one thing, but they're very different. Explain that to the audience.
Yeah, great. This is another question we get all the time. So translation is the process of translating written text from one language, rendering it from one language into another language. So think of books, think of digital and print materials. Interpretation is the action of rendering one language into another language via spoken. So if you think of the United Nations booth interpretation situation going on there, that's interpretation. Or even American Sign Language for an event. You see the American Sign Language interpreter on the camera to the side or on the stage. So that's interpretation. We also have an in-depth guide to show you the different examples of each on our website. So if you go to www.v, like Valdes, languageservices.com, vlanguageservices.com, you can find our guide there, and it's free, and you can learn the difference between the two so you can see which is right for you.
Okay, we will put that down in the comments for everybody to access. Is that a free guide?
Yes, it's a free guide.
Wonderful. Okay, so if you're wondering, like I was, like, what's the difference? What am I trying to request? That will help you out. Now, tell me, people are going to be watching and listening to this, and they think, wow, there are ways I could use this. I can see how it could really expand their reach and impact a greater audience, obviously make more money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But how are you different? Because if somebody's thinking, I want to have some things translated, and then you go out and you look, there's just a sea of people saying that. And how do you know who's good, who's not good? Who are the, like the mills of, they just have thousands of people there. How do you know you're getting quality? And how are you guys different from all of those translation mills out there?
Thank you for this question. So we are different because we not only provide exceptional translation and interpretation services, and this is reflected in our 50 plus 5-star reviews across different platforms. We were also selected as a finalist for the 2025 Better Business Bureau Torch Awards of Ethics. So this shows our commitment to the work that we do. We also give back. So we provide a scholarship for students to access college readiness programs to be able to go to college. Many of them are first generation, so that guides them through that process. We also give back. So in our forms, we provide 10% of our profits, up to $100 per project, for nonprofits which are doing good work locally. So we do that. And we work with expert linguists. So if you need a court certified interpreter, we got you covered. A certified healthcare interpreter, got you covered. If you need a linguist who specializes in a specific field, we will find the right linguist for you. And we are very present and active in community events. So that's what sets us apart. We're in our community, we are giving back, we're present, and we're listening to our clients' needs. And if you have a specific project, we will find the linguist for you.
I love that. I love the way you built the business, not just about for profit, but also giving back to the community. And I know that's a deep passion of yours. So it's another reason I wanted people to get to know you and see how you stand out from others. And you have built a really unique process of working with people and companies. I know they can go to your website and request services, and you can do very simple services, and you can go into something really in depth and comprehensive the way you work with people. Share with us a little bit about that.
So yes, so we work the partnerships that we work with our clients, we give our all. So we want to make sure we're invested in their success. So we have created a leveraged language partnership where we are able to help our clients reach their goals by coordinating their needs. So we will meet with them and we'll see exactly what they need. We offer them all of our services and we match them to the perfect linguist that they're looking for. We make that intro so that they know who the linguist is going to be if it's interpretation. And so we are able to afterwards see how that went, and we're able to tailor it exactly to their expectations and their needs. And not only that, we also will follow up to ensure that we're planning with our client success and sharing updates and progress on the industry to keep them ahead of the curve of what is to come. So this will help them to stand out against their competition because they are learning their clients' needs and they're able to provide that, and they're able to build their brand awareness and get recognized for the work that they do because they are taking language access seriously. So we help our clients thrive through this partnership.
I love it. So you're like the trusted advisor in translation services, and it reminds me a lot of law firms. I have a lot of legal clients, and they have retainers and packages where that way you can just not worry and find a new provider every time you're in their back pocket, and you work with them for whatever needs, and then you tell them, hey, there's this and there's this, and kind of having their own consultant to guide them and look out for them.
That's exactly what we do. You nailed it. That is exactly what we do.
I love that. So how do people work with you? What is the process? And then if people do want to reach out, obviously leave comments here below. Laura will check in. And where should they go? What is this first step that they need to do?
They can find us on our website, so thelanguageservices.com. There, if you have a translation request, you can submit a form to that. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. Same thing with interpretation inquiry. You can also set a time to schedule a chat with us. You can find our calendar link there and find the best time for you. We can personalize your solution for whatever language services you need.
Wonderful. I love it. And I would think, if it's the first time for somebody and they're just kind of, feeling it out, trying to figure out, could this work? How would it work? Since you do that kind of advising and consulting, I would think a call would be ideal just to really get to know their business, whether it's a for-profit and nonprofit, correct?
Absolutely, yes. You can find our phone number on our website. Give us a call, and we'll be more than happy to help you.
Laura, thank you for stopping in. It is great to see you and to learn more about your business and to share this. I am a big believer in this. As you all know, I grew up in Europe, and English was my fourth or fifth language. So there are people out there that can use this, but just think, like, how could you use somebody like Laura as a resource and even turn this into a new revenue stream in your business by having a whole new audience that you can tap into all the way around the world. So thanks for coming in, Laura. I appreciate you. And I hope our audience gets in touch with you as well.
I appreciate you too, Koni. Thank you for this episode. Thank you for listening to us. Appreciate it tons, and I hope to connect soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.